Here are Ryan's top 3 favorite wrestlers. Number 3, Will Ospreay. Number 2, Kenny Omega. Number 1, Master Wada. No way, that can't be right. Damn! Now back to Jack and Ryan on the MonsterCast.
The contract between CW and NWA looks like it's been burnt up. Let's talk about this for a second. WWE NXT is now officially moving to the CW. We talked about the NWA the last couple of weeks about moving to the CW. First week we said it better be the CW. Then the next week it literally came out that it was the CW. And now this week it's coming out that, it's NXT's going to CW. And now the NWA is in jeopardy of not being on CW at all, and possibly even being on their app only or some shit that I read. How crazy is this in a 3-week span to go from, hey, we got a deal, and then us being, it better be CW or it's a bust. Then it being CW, and then literally after your last pay-per-view, 212 buys, just goes up in flames because of a spot, some dumb spot that had nothing to do with wrestling on your show.
Here's the thing: if they signed NXT that quickly afterward, it wasn't because of the spot.
You think this is a WWE, ECW, TNN type deal?
They
saw that they could get WWE, so they kicked off the smaller one.
Yep, 100%. Because I'm there's no way they would have signed a deal with NXT that quickly if they weren't already talking to them, and they might use that cocaine spot as like a reason or like an excuse or whatever. But I'm pretty sure it was just, oh, wait, hold on. We can actually get NXT. They're on board from the talks that we were having before, whatever. Let's do that. Fuck off with this other one. I don't think
I'm not saying that you can't have both, but I find it hard to believe that pumping that much money into NXT it's a 5-year deal, by the way. And it's anywhere from $35 to $37 million a year for NXT. So that would be 175 million minimum. 175 million dollars from CW for 5 years for NXT. You're not pumping that money into that, and then also spending more money on a NWA product, even if you were spending that, even if you're showing it at 12 at night, graveyard shift or something.
You know what might get them to do that is if NWA paid them. Because all the eyes are going to be on that channel.
They don't have any money to do this.
Hey,
bro.
You don't know how much money Billy Corgan's got. Listen.
I know it's not enough to pay CW to be on their network. Now, I know CW lost a lot of programming with all their DC shows are gone now. Walking Dead, I mean, not Walking Dead, but Supernatural's gone. So you got no Supernatural. You got no more Vampire Diaries. You got none of your DC shows, your 4 or 5 DC shows that you had, where it was Flash, Arrow, the time traveling one,
that was
Legends of Tomorrow. You had Supergirl that moved over, and then you also had Batgirl or whatever, Batwoman or whatever, that failed miserably after 1.5 seasons or whatever it was, 2 seasons. So you have none of those shows, so you don't have to spend any money on that. So I guess you could technically have enough money to do both. But do you want to just go from, hey, we're a DC showing program, to now, hey, we're just going to feature a bunch of fucking wrestling and see how it goes?
CW stands for C Wrestling. The thing with the NWA deal, if they did keep it even having NXT, is that it only benefits NWA. It doesn't really do that much for CW because they'll be able to kind of piggyback off of other wrestling viewers already, if that were the case on that channel. But that's pretty much it.
Thursday night, 6:05 p.m. baby, old school.
Yeah, the fucking era.
It's gonna be. Let's say they kept it. It would be a shitty. It would be a shitty time slot, or it'd be a shitty day. I'm telling you, it would not. I don't think it would work. I don't know. I wouldn't be against it. I guess it depends on what you're already showing and what their numbers are. I guess. Yeah. It'd be like a short. I would do like a short-term deal, like a year. Let's test it out. Let's see what happens. And if you're not getting more numbers than what we already had up there, then we're just gonna pull the plug after a year and just not re-sign a new deal.
Well, that's the thing that people who bitch about AEW ratings don't understand too. Is that what TBS used to have in that time slot was not doing anywhere near those fucking numbers. I promise they don't care. They don't care if it's like if Collision gets like a 400K one week or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I've said about Collision on Saturday when I said it'll work. It doesn't work in terms of comparing it to other wrestling shows that are not on Saturdays or that were on Saturdays in the past. But there's literally nothing on TV on Saturdays when it's not fucking college football season. Nothing. That's why they play fucking straight movies all fucking day. Because they know no one's fucking watching the shit. No one's
Yeah.
gonna sit there and watch movies that you can watch on a streaming service with no fucking commercials and sit there and watch a fucking TV screen that has 80 fucking commercials. That just
And
doesn't
edited.
happen.
Like censored versions of it too.
Yeah, consolidated versions, censored versions, yes, all that.
Yeah.
Because they have to fit it in a 2-hour window type shit, yes.
Or just watch A Christmas Story fucking 9 times in a row. But yeah, the the thing with the CW though, if they have NXT again, the only people that'll benefit to keep NWA on top of that would be NWA. I don't see any scenario where they do both.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about some more network stuff. Here is the breakdown that I've come up with here. This is all 3 of the major WWE shows: SmackDown, NXT 2.0, and Raw. What program or what network they're currently on, and what network they're going to. And in Raw's case, possibly going to. All right, so SmackDown is on Fox. It's going to the USA Network. NXT is on the USA Network. It's going to the CW. And Raw is on the USA Network, but it is leaving. Possibly. There's still an outside chance that they could stay. But the rumor right now is that it's going to FX is the favorite for its landing spot. What do you think about this? And how crazy is it that we might see WWE on 3 different networks, dude, at the same time? Like, that's never happened before.
Why'd your voice just do the Brock Lesnar break on this? Let's do this. I don't know that moving to FX would be a better network for them. SmackDown's going to lose a lot of viewers not doing Fox anymore.
Hey man, whoever gives them the money, it's a better move for them. They don't care. Just like AEW doesn't care about the ratings. It's about what money is coming in and what you're doing. I mean, they matter a little bit, but they don't matter nearly as much as what the fucking people on the internet think they matter, right?
Yeah.
If FX is going to give WWE a shit ton of money for Raw, then they don't give a fuck what if it's in 1 million less households or whatever than USA.
Yeah. I think that when they start doing those one-to-one comparisons on stuff like that's about to happen this upcoming week, where Collision's running on a Friday because SmackDown or because their pay-per-view is on Saturday, you're gonna have these head-to-heads with SmackDown and Collision, and people are gonna make comparisons to the old ratings and say, oh well, they did however many less or whatever compared to last time they were head-to-head, blah blah blah. So I mean that.
Well, that's why we don't even like on this show. We don't even talk about that.
We don't.
I know we don't really. We used to do the ratings when it was AEW versus NXT because that was the hot new thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But we on this show don't even talk about, well, WWE's ratings in 2002 were 5s or whatever compared to now and they're 1.67s and shit like that because it was a different time. So there's no point in even bringing those old ratings up, honestly.
People will do it though. That's what I'm saying. And you wonder from the point of view of like, being a brand with a competitor, how much that factors into some of their decision making when it comes to where they move, like whether or not they're still going to be able to make it look like they blow out the competition as much when they're not on a network TV, they're on cable. So Raw on FX seems weird to me.
Like, okay, so here's the deal. Let me try to break this down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The coolest thing about this for WWE's case is that even though Fox literally came out with a report saying that they were bleeding money from the WWE deal, USA decided, hey, we'll give you more money for the same amount of time. They gave them 1.2 billion when Fox only gave them 1 billion for the same amount of time for 5 years. So now USA is going to get rid of the flagship show because, like you said a few weeks ago, they just saw the ratings from Fox, not realizing that, or I mean, I'm sure they realize it, but that's not how it comes off. It comes off like they didn't realize it. You're going to get the same amount of ratings for SmackDown as you did Raw.
Yeah.
I feel like. Unless you just feel like there's more viewers on Fridays than there are Mondays, but I just don't see how that's possible. So you got SmackDown getting $200 million more than their previous TV rights deal with Fox. Mm-hmm. NXT, for the first time ever, is bringing in you a shit ton of money. $175 million for 5 years. That's minimum because the report is 35 to 37, so I just went with 35. Minimum.
Never going to full sale again, baby.
$175 million for NXT.
Yeah.
And then whatever the fuck Raw ends up getting from either USA, which if they go to USA, it'll be drastically lower than probably whatever the one is now. So they'll probably lose a little bit there. But if they are able to land on another network, it's a good chance that they're going to get around the same or more than what they previously got in their last TV negotiations for Raw as well. So like if you're sitting there with like WWE, you're like, oh, we're in a good fucking spot. Like you can't be in a better spot right now. And I don't know if you can really attribute that to Vince or anything because he's just sold out fucking $8.5 million worth of shares or whatever.
8 million of his shares.
8 million of his shares, yeah. 8 million of his shares. Yeah, that's a shit ton. So unless he's gonna fix that limit, I don't know what I don't understand.
I think he only had 29 million. So you're talking about almost a third of his shares.
That's pretty crazy. So either he's slowly just fading his way out the door and he literally only did come back for the fucking TV rights deal and to do the sale, like everybody was saying. Is that possible?
Like
is that possible that he was actually telling the truth and he just came back for the sales?
That man ain't never told the truth. He's fucking Hulk Hogan.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I never heard it come out of his mouth, so I can't say that he'd said that. This is all hearsay, obviously.
Yeah. I think it's more likely that he's just starting to get pushed out and he was like, okay.
He doesn't like the new role he's in, huh? He don't like not being in that creative role, probably. He's like, yo, we got plans for you, Vince. You're gonna sit at this desk and write an essay, and he don't like that shit.
I think that gives up his controlling stake in it, doesn't it? Because if he's given up, because he's given up a third of the amount that he had. I'm trying to remember how many is controlling.
I don't know.
Shares.
It's not. I mean, on the surface, it looks like you said, he's on his way out. Now, I don't know if he's being forced out or if he just wants to be out.
Company.
Yeah, he just might want to be out.
Maybe he wants to go start another company. Maybe he's gonna go buy NWA.
That'd be funny as hell. Talk about a full circle moment. Because they wouldn't sell it to him before.
Yeah.